What makes a luxury suit truly exceptional? These are two suits, born on opposite sides of the Atlantic, built on entirely different philosophies of what a man should look like when he puts on a jacket. One was designed to disappear, the other was designed to be seen. The American suit and the Italian suit represent the two most influential schools of menswear in the modern world. Unlike the structured formality of Savile Row, these transatlantic traditions prioritize entirely different relationships between fabric and form. The reason they fit so differently has nothing to do with accident. It has everything to do with climate, culture, commerce, and two fundamentally opposing ideas about the relationship between fabric and the human body. Let's start in Manhattan. April 7th, 1818. A 45-year-old man named Henry Sands Brooks opens a shop on the corner of Catherine and Cherry Streets with a simple guiding principle: to make and deal only in merchandise of the finest body, to sell it at a fair profit, and to deal with people who seek and appreciate such merchandise. His sons would rename the company Brooks Brothers and adopt the Golden Fleece as their trademark. By 1849, they had accomplished something no one else had managed. They had effectively created the ready-to-wear clothing market. But the garment that would define American tailoring for over a century did not arrive until the turn of the 20th century: the number one sack suit. The name sack did not refer to bagginess, though critics would later use it that way. It referred to a French construction technique from the 1840s called the sac, where the jacket's back was cut from just two straight panels instead of four curved ones. The result was a silhouette that was deliberately boxy, deliberately understated. Brooks Brothers perfected this suit in the 1910s with a set of details that have barely changed since: a signature 3-roll-2 lapel, unpadded shoulders, no darts on the front panels, flat front trousers, a single vent. Everything about it was engineered for one purpose: mass production. Brooks Brothers wanted a suit that was cheap to manufacture and would fit as many men as possible right off the rack. No functioning surgeon's cuffs, no complex construction, just clean, democratic simplicity. The sack suit found its tribe in the 1920s. Ivy League students at Harvard and Yale adopted it as their uniform, and by the 1950s, it had become the silhouette of choice for American men coast to coast. J-Press, the last bastion of American sartorial conservatism, still makes nearly all of their tailored clothing in this silhouette today. The American suit says something very specific about the man wearing it. It says, "I do not need to try." The loose sleeves, the low armholes, the straight cut that hangs rather than hugs. This is a suit built on Protestant restraint, on the idea that a gentleman should never look like he is thinking too hard about his clothes. Now cross the Atlantic and step into post-war Italy, where the exact opposite philosophy was taking shape. The year is 1945. Rome is rebuilding. Two men, Nazareno Fonticoli and Gaetano Savini, open a small tailoring boutique on Via Barberini. They name it Brioni, after the Croatian Brijuni Islands, the glamorous summer residence of Yugoslav President Tito. 7 years later, in 1952, Brioni stages something unprecedented: the first menswear runway show in the modern history of fashion, presenting fluid, vividly colored suits in the Sala Bianca of the Palazzo Pitti in Florence. Menswear would never be the same. The following year, Gregory Peck wore Brioni in Roman Holiday, and suddenly American audiences witnessed something they had never seen before: a suit that moved, a suit that looked alive on the body. Clark Gable, John Wayne, Cary Grant, they all followed. A transatlantic love affair with Italian tailoring was born. Meanwhile, in Naples, a man named Ciro Paione, born into a fifth-generation fabric merchant family, founded what would become Chiton in 1956. He later renamed it after the chiton, the ancient Greek tunic worn during prayer, a garment that was meant to flow with the body rather than constrain it. Paone's philosophy was poetic in its simplicity. The suit should feel like you are being embraced. Naples had already established its reputation through houses like Rubinacci, where Mariano Rubinacci had pioneered the Neapolitan style in the 1930s, and later Cesare Ottolini, whose family continues to define the city's artisanal approach to bespoke tailoring. That embrace is engineered through construction details that are the polar opposite of the American sack suit. Where the American suit has low armholes, the Italian suit cuts them high, allowing a streamlined look and far greater range of motion. Where the American suit pads the shoulders lightly and lets everything hang straight, the Italian suit strips the padding away almost entirely and uses full canvas construction that lets the fabric follow the natural line of the wearer's frame. Where the American suit avoids darts and shaping, the Italian suit tapers at the waist, creating a silhouette that celebrates the body underneath. And then there is the Neapolitan specialty, spalla camicia, the shirt shoulder. This is where the sleeve head is attached with gentle pleating or waterfalling at the crown, mimicking the way a shirt sits on the shoulder. It is a hallmark of handmade construction and a signature of Southern Italian ease. Each ketone suit requires upward of 25 hours of handwork, 50 in the case of their legendary K50 line, involving more than 1,500 individual steps. Brione's artisans must train for at least 4 years before they are even allowed to touch a customer order. This level of craft extends to the finest materials, Super 150s and 180s wools sourced from mills like Loro Piana and Holland and Sherry, and 14-micron cashmere that feels like liquid silk against the skin. This comes at a price. Ketone's cashmere suits retail at $12,600. Their most exclusive pieces exceed $50,000. Brione's Vanquish 2 suit, crafted from a blend of musk ox wool, vicuna, and pashmina, debuted in 2008 at $43,000. But perhaps no single figure reshaped the Italian suit's global identity more than Giorgio Armani. In 1975, Armani launched his label and immediately went to war with tradition. He ripped out shoulder padding. He eliminated inner linings. He lowered button placement. And he reconfigured proportions entirely. In Martin Scorsese's 1990 documentary Made in Milan, Armani theatrically tore the lining from a jacket on camera, revealing the technical artistry behind his seemingly effortless fit. Armani said he was motivated by a desire to modernize menswear. He wanted to use softer fabrics and to rethink the suit, getting rid of most of the linings and fillings. The global launch came in 1980 when Armani dressed a young Richard Gere in American Gigolo. That film didn't just sell tickets. It sold a new idea of masculinity. The suit no longer armored the body. It narrated it. When Armani passed away in September 2025 at the age of 91, his brand was valued at $12.1 billion. The designer who dismantled the 20th century suit had built an empire from a palette of grays, beiges, and blues. So why do these suits fit so differently? Because they were never trying to do the same thing. The American suit was built for commerce, for democracy, for fitting the most bodies with the least effort. The Italian suit was built for spectacle, for individuality, for the Mediterranean culture of seeing and being seen. One hides the body, the other reveals it. One whispers, the other speaks fluently without ever raising its voice. In 2024, both traditions remain very much alive. Brooks Brothers reopened a flagship in Lower Manhattan, steps from where Henry Sands Brooks first opened his doors over 200 years ago. They reissued the #1 sack suit for a new generation. Brioni launched its first women's wear collection and partnered with Mr. Porter on a 25-piece capsule. The question was never which suit is better. The question is which suit tells your story. Whether you choose American tailoring or Italian craftsmanship, Understanding why these garments fit the way they do means you stop buying clothes and start choosing them.